Hello, hello, hello. I was on here earlier today and I showed you guys how to use a projector to turn a door hanger, or not a door hanger, this isn't a door hanger, this is actually a yard stake, but how to turn like a picture into a yard stake using a projector. Like you print it out on a transparency and then you use the projector to project it on the plywood, just like maybe your teachers did back in the day when they were making bulletin board decorations and stuff. So hello, say hi to me as you come in. Tell me where you're from. I've already painted him all the proper colors, but I want to show you guys how I turn him from this into the Grinch, because right now he's just basic colors. Beth, I'm selling him for $100 each. He's 5 feet tall, so that's pretty cheap when you consider him plus a strand of lights is going to decorate your house for Christmas. And I've got my tripod as high as it'll go, propped on top of my dining room table, angled down because he's so big. I knew I wouldn't be able to get him all in the shot. Hey, Christy. Okay, so if you look closely, which you probably can't see in the video, like I did not stay inside the lines perfectly on these, and I also had my 7 and 11-year-old helping me paint some of these, because I actually did 3 of these today. And yes, what a deal. Hi, Melissa. And so they aren't perfectly painted, but when you go and do these finishing touches, it hides all of those little imperfections, because it's kind of like when you are coloring on a coloring book and you want to stay inside the lines are already there. Well, this way we color first and then we add the lines in. So that is kind of like a little trick to make it look like you stayed inside the lines when you really didn't. Thank you, Tammy. Hi, Tara. Oh, wow, Washington, you're far away. Hi, Rhonda. Okay. As you can see, I've used this egg carton a little too much lately, and it's on its last leg, so this will probably be its last job. I'm going to start, actually I probably need to start with white because I'm going to have to wait for that to dry. His eyes are actually yellow, like where our eyes are white, the Grinch's eyes are yellow, and then like my eyes are green, his eyes are going to be red. So the yellow's not going to cover this green very well. So what we're going to do first is just paint the whites of his eyes white, and then we'll go back over them with yellow in a few minutes. Whenever I was using the projector to draw this out, I went ahead and did the face. And then, of course, whenever I painted over it with green, it covered up the Sharpie, but you could still see it really well. So, you know, if you want to still be able to see it really well, you can redraw on top of your old Sharpie lines, or you can still see them, so it's not really a problem. Now, the first one that I did 3 of these today, like I said, and the first one I did with the projector, and I went ahead and drew all of his features out and everything. Let me see if I can get you just a tad bit closer. My chandelier's in the way. We got problems. But I went, good grief, I'm bumping into the chandelier, this thing's so tall. But I went ahead and drew out his facial features and everything with the projector, but then when I made 2 more of them, I just traced the outer shape. And so that was, it was easier to trace the outer shape that way, but it also made it kind of a pain because I didn't have his facial features and all that drawn on there. So you might take that into consideration if you're making multiples. Make yourself some sort of printable template or something that you can trace if you're not going to be using the projector every single time you make one of these. Because his face, I'm going to go ahead and just paint in the center of his eyes. His face is so specific that if you don't get it just right, he can look a little goofy. And I say that because I did end up drawing his eyes on a different one, and he turned out looking really goofy. So I painted over it, and I'm going to redo the face on that one. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in there. I know somebody in the last video asked if I was going to put a clear coat on him or something to protect him from the weather. And yes, from what I read online, they recommend that you put a water-based, my face is really yellow because the chandelier is right there and it's projecting yellow light on my face. I'm sorry. But they recommend that you use a water-based clear coat. And so I'm going to use polyacrylic. And I'm just going to use like a 4-inch roller and roll it on the front and the back so that he is water resistant and he doesn't start to warp in the weather. Okay, so his eyes are going to look like a zombie for a little while, but we're going to leave him like that. And then I'm going to switch to this brush, which is a number 6 round tip brush. And the reason I'm using this one is because it's nice and fat See how fat the tip of that brush is? It's gonna hold a lot of paint. And I need one that holds a lot of paint to do all these black lines. Yes, dear?
It's different.
It's okay. It's supposed, see, yeah, he's saying his eyes are different. His eyes are different because he's kind of turned, see, like watch my face in the camera. His face is kind of turned to the side a little bit. So one eye is going to be a little bigger than the other eye. So this eye is the eye that's facing you a little bit, and this is the one that's turned away a little bit. Do you understand?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like when you turn your face, one eye gets smaller and one eye gets bigger. That's why one of his eyes is bigger. Okay, so I'm getting my black paint on my round tip brush, and this is where you get to cover up all of those little imperfections where you painted and accidentally maybe got a little bit on the white or a little bit on the green, and just make a pretty thick black line. And as you come around to do this fluffy part of the white on his little coat, just kind of flick your brush like that to do, and it kind of makes it look cartoonish.
Yeah, that looks cartoonish.
Just like Dr. Seuss would have drawn him.
Yep, Dr. Seuss. He's one of my most favorite book characters.
What is your favorite Dr. Seuss book character?
I don't know.
Hi, Jane. Yes.
I have so many favorites.
Have so many favorites. Well, my 7-year-old's determined to be in this video. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that pretty much on, let me angle the camera down, I'm sorry. Hi, Becky. He looks a lot like the Life Sense Grinch. Yes, I saw yours, Dana, that you did. I think it was last year or year before. It was pretty cool. I'm just gonna do this black outline all the way around, and it just kind of makes everything show up better. And I'm also gonna go over my Sharpie lines with a nicer, thicker line.
Come on.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna make it just a little bit wavier than my Sharpie line because I feel like my Sharpie line was a little too perfect, too straight. You know that like 48 people are watching you right now, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you think you were just like looking at yourself in the camera?
Yeah.
You didn't realize 48 people are on the other side of the camera watching you?
No.
That's a lot of people, isn't it?
But I'm looking at myself.
Well, they're all looking at you too. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and outline this with black, even though I'm going to paint yellow inside. I'll just be careful and not try to get it too much on the yellow. But these are his big bushy eyebrows.
Look weird.
It's kind of the same technique on his face as the Grinch face door hanger that I have, which has been one of my most popular ones for years.
Daddy say that.
After we get all these black lines drawn, we're going to add some touches of just really, really light gray highlights inside the white and some dark red inside the red, and then some dark green inside the green of his face so that he looks a little bit Grinchier instead of just a solid green color.
Yeah, that looks really good with the green inside.
Yeah. In case you're wondering what colors I used, the red is Bright Red by Apple Barrel Paints. And then, of course, just regular white, regular black. And then the green is actually a mixture of two different colors. It is
He looks
spring green and palm leaf green. As you can see, these two greens are very close. Ooh, that's really bright. Are very close together in color, but when you mix them together, I don't even mix them perfectly. Like when I squirt them in the egg carton right there, you can see I did not mix those together perfectly. They're just kind of modeled together. And so that way when you paint him, he looks just a little bit scroungy, I guess. I don't know the right word to explain it. But he looks, I like to say Grinchy. He looks Grinchy. Or a little bit like Oscar the Grouch, you know. He's not all one solid color green. He's got a little bit of two shades kind of mixing in together.
It looks really better with black.
Yeah, the black really helps a lot because it kind of outlines everything. Kind of like makes it look like you stayed inside the lines.
Thank you.
Brett helped me paint some of these today.
Yeah.
It was hard work, wasn't it?
Oh, and Travis.
Yeah, Travis helped too. And Travis, he's 11. He said, Mom, now I know why he said, I know why you have to work so hard on these. He said, these take a long time. He didn't realize how long it takes to do like just the background colors on some of these.
Yeah. It's funny.
I'm just going to do an outline. And then I'm going to have my husband help me add a stake to the back. I haven't ever done that before, but I'm sure it's probably not rocket science. So
Yeah.
just so long as we've got something to hammer into the ground. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Thank you to whoever shared the video. I appreciate that. I know a lot of people have been messaging me that they enjoy my videos and that they find them helpful. So I'm getting new people all the time that are messaging me saying they just found me on YouTube or wherever, and they appreciate all these tutorial videos. Oh, I just realized I'm painting off camera. Yes, I will seal it, Stacy. I'm going to spray it with like or not spray it. I'm going to use a 4-inch foam roller and put like a clear coat of polyacrylic. I never can think of the name of that stuff.
Yeah.
Polyacrylic. Okay, this is kind of like his hand, and then the little lights are going to loop in right there where he's kind of holding on to them. And I know everything's kind of backwards to you guys, so it's going to be kind of weird, but let's see. His hands kind of go up this way. I was trying to remember how I had them before on the other one.
Wait, you drawn another one?
Yeah, there's one over there, and then this is like his wrist coming down.
I thought you made one a long time ago.
No, but I did the Grinch's face. Maybe that's what you're thinking about.
Oh,
I'm making sure you guys can still see what I'm doing here. It's weird having the camera above me. I don't normally work like that.
Mom,
What?
why do hearts and thumbs keep coming up?
I don't know. I'm confused as why you're asking me.
I know the thumbs mean good job, I think.
Oh, he's talking about on Facebook. People are clicking like, and when they click like, the thumbs up comes up. And when they click a heart, which means they love it, the hearts pop up. Oh, see, look, somebody's clicking them now. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He's fascinated by this Facebook Live video stuff. Hey, Christy, thank you.
Wait, Christy's on here?
No, not Christy Garland, a different Christy.
Oh.
Make sure you guys can still see what I'm doing.
I like the centipede that was at church. It was great.
Yeah.
Mm.
If any of you guys are from the Murray, Kentucky or Benton, Kentucky area, I've got one extra of these that I made today that I'll sell.
You.
I'm selling them for $100 each. So like I said, that's a pretty cheap way to decorate the exterior of your house. Just one, and it's a lot easier too. It's like the lazy way to decorate. You just get one of these and a strand of lights and boom, you're done. You just stake them in the yard and it looks like you've decorated your whole house.
So you put a stake on them?
Well, it's like a big wooden stake on the back that you can hammer into the ground to hold him.
I thought you meant a steak that you eat.
No, not a steak that you eat. Watch out, I gotta do this side of his head. I forgot about it.
No. Why couldn't you do this later?
Well, I wanted to do this now so they could watch me. Watch me paint it. Okay, let's move on down. I gotta move you to the other side of the chandelier so you can see the bottom half of his body.
The feet.
Yep. And then after we get all this black outlining part done, we will move on to the highlighting, which to me just really makes it look so good. Okay, this is his knee, so I'm gonna bring this on up here.
Wait, people are joining. I see faces coming up.
Yep, there's 58 people watching.
Last time there was 40 something.
There was 48 last time, but now there's more.
58.
Yep.
48, 58, 68, 78, 89.
Are you counting by tens like you learned at school?
I don't know.
Your teacher said you were pretty good at that.
68, 78.
Aunt Nene says hi, Brett.
Hi, Aunt Nene.
Thank you, Robin. She says you're a cutie.
Huh.
Robin thinks you're a cutie. He's 7 years old. He's my middle child. Do you like being the middle child? Doesn't matter to you, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, like if y'all want to talk to each other, you need to go back there and talk to him.
Okay.
Because Charlie's asleep.
Stop yelling at me.
We don't want to wake up the 2-year-old or she'll be in on the video too.
Yeah, yelling.
All right, nearly finished with all this black outlining.
I am so itchy.
It's pretty easy. It just takes a few minutes because you got a lot of areas to go around when he's 5 feet tall.
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I missed anything.
Why
I don't
can't
think
you
I
make
did.
Why can't you make them like 3
Okay.
feet tall?
He looks like his daddy. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna use the same brush. Let me wash it out. Rinse! And there we go. 7-year-old just knocked the tripod off the table, son. You're gonna tear something up. Sorry, folks. You guys just nearly bit the dust. Thank you, Robin. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
What does
Okay.
that mean? Bit the dust?
They nearly broke my brand new phone. Okay, so right here, I still have some, and it's hard to see because of the lighting. But this is just some white that I used, and I did just a teensy bit of black in it. So it's barely any darker. Let me see if I can lower the camera, because I want you guys closer for this part. So hang in there. We're gonna readjust the camera angle here. Oh, hang on, I did that wrong. Sorry. I need a cameraman, don't I? Okay, let go,
Yep.
Brett. Okay, so let's see if we can get you a little closer. So I'm just got my light gray. It's just a tad bit lighter than my white. And I'm just doing some little swirls inside the white. They're almost like little commas or apostrophes or whatever. Can you see them? Let me get you real close. I guess you can kind of see them. The lighting's kind of weird. Okay, so let's put you right here. And then we'll do this area. It's hard to paint something like this on camera because it's so big.
And they've got lots of paint.
Yeah, why don't you go wash that off and get ready for bed?
I'll go put some sugar.
Tell Travis I said get ready for bed too.
Get ready for bed.
Okay, so I've just got some of these little swirls, and it just makes the white look a little cottonier, a little tuftier. I'm do it in all the white areas except the eyes, because the eyes, of course, are going to be painted yellow. And it looks like we have messed up the black there. I'll have to go back and touch that up later after it dries. Oh, forgot to move you guys again. Y'all go get ready for bed.
Okay.
And then we'll do the hat.
Mama,
What?
can I have some pizza in the fridge?
Make it quick,
Okay.
because it's almost bedtime. You're waiting too late to eat.
Okay.
Don't kids always do that? They'll wait until the last minute to eat supper.
Oh, I forgot that.
I know. Okay, so we've got all of our white highlights on there, and while I'm down at this end, I'm gonna go ahead and paint his eyes yellow because they've dried. And then we'll go back and do some highlights on the red and the green, and that'll give the yellow time to dry so that I can do his eyes.
Hungry. Mom, can I have something to eat?
It's gonna have to be something fast and something you can fix yourself.
Okay, that would be easy.
This is why I usually wait until after 9 o'clock to do my videos, because they'll be in bed.
Yeah. Okay, close down.
I forgot to outline that side with the black. I'll have to go back and do that in a moment. Oh, crap. That black wasn't dry yet. See if I can push it back. Okay, so we've got his eyes yellow on top of the white, and we're gonna let that dry. I may go ahead and outline that again with black real quick because that won't mess anything up to go ahead and do that. because the black covers the yellow just fine. I'm gonna fix a couple spots along here that don't look very good. And then I forgot to outline this side with the black. There we go, much better. Okay, next we're gonna add the highlights to the red. And I already have that mixed up. It's the same bright red color, but again with just a teensy bit of black added into it to make it just a tad bit darker. So see if you can see that. Let me move the camera up again a little bit. Can you guys see that? It's just a shade darker than the rest of the hat. But it makes the hat look a little bit wavy or wrinkly or whatever. Because we know the Grinch does not steam or iron his clothes, right? Okay, and then we're gonna do his coat.
I should move our hair.
And do some going up his sleeves and then over his shoulder. Could you do that somewhere else? It's kind of loud.
I can pour it into a bowl.
Oh, whatever. Okay, so his jacket's all wrinkly now, and then let's add just a tiny bit to the feet, right down here. I'll just hold the camera for this part.
Getting in my food area.
Seriously, Brett, go eat somewhere else. Take it to the kitchen. I mean, they want to be right underneath me. I'm sorry. Okay, Rose says, hey, Tamara, I know you've said this before, but where do you order your paintbrushes? Thank you. I feel like I'm doing a terrible job tonight because the camera has already fallen off the table once and I've had to move the tripod 500 times. I apologize. But Rose, I will post a link for the brushes as soon as the video ends. So don't forget to check the comments. Okay, let me set it down here so I can do, we're gonna do some little highlights and stuff on his legs and the greenery to make him look Grinchy. And I'm using the same brush. It's a 6-inch round, or not a 6-inch round, a number 6 round. And then, I don't remember if this color's already been mixed up. Let me see if it's in this other egg carton over here. No, it's not. Okay, so this must have been the color. Let me see if it shows up. I had darkened this color up just a tiny bit. Let me see if it's not looking dark enough. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my brush in the black and mix a little bit of that in with this green. And it's kind of thick, so I'm gonna drip some water into it to thin it out just a little bit. And by thinning it out, it'll go on much smoother. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, so this color is just a little bit darker than the green I've already been using. And yes, that looks good. I don't know if it's showing up in the video or not, but it's just making him look a little bit grungy, a little bit Grinchy. And these don't have to be perfect. They just need to kind of make him look furry almost, because he is furry. So just do some wavy lines and it creates some texture. Thank you, Jennifer. It's fun watching you paint. I have fun watching other people paint too, and I get ideas from them. So even though this is probably not the perfect tutorial, maybe it'll give somebody some ideas and inspire you to create something for yourself. And so that's always my hope, is that you guys get something out of it, even though sometimes the video is not perfect or my kids are interfering or whatever. I just hope that somebody finds it helpful. Even if one person found it helpful, it's been worth it. Okay, I'm just doing these little wiggly lines all around like his facial features. Just making him look furry. I'm running out of paint though. I need to, at least this is the last area I'm doing. And then I'll do a little bit inside the nose. And maybe a little bit right up in here. Okay. Then I think that is all the highlighting we need to do. The only thing we need to do is finish up his eyes. So let me dry my brush. And the same color that I used to do the accents on the red down here, I'm going to use that same darker red on his eyes, because it will show up better on top of this yellow than just the regular bright red would. And these eyes may take 2 coats, so after the video is over, I may end up putting more on them after it dries. But you'll get the idea. And as soon as I get these clear coated and a stake put on them, I'll take a picture of it out in the yard and you guys can see it. Like I said, if you're local, I can sell you one for $100, but I can't ship these, or I can ship these, I just don't want to ship them because it would be outrageous to have to ship these. So, okay, last thing is I'm going to take a little bit of white and just do a little dot right there on the eye to make it look like he's got a twinkle in his eye because he's mischievous. Okay, let me back you guys up. I'm going to take the camera off of here so you guys can see the whole thing. There he is. He is ready to go sneak and steal somebody's Christmas lights. Oh, thank you, Lisa. You're so sweet. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here and probably eat me a brownie and some ice cream. Shh. I'm supposed to be dieting, but you know, we got brownies in the house. We got to get rid of them, right? So, and watch The Walking Dead. But you guys have a great night, and thanks for joining me. And thank you guys to the ones of you who've shared this. I appreciate it, and I know it's probably blessed somebody else who found it in their newsfeed. Thank you, June. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.